Once upon a time, nestled between rolling hills and vast green fields, there was a remote village where life was not peaceful. The villagers quarreled constantly, their tempers flaring over the smallest of matters, a boundary dispute between neighbors, a misplaced tool, or a mere misunderstanding over borrowed goods. The village square, surrounded by weathered stone cottages and bustling market stalls, often echoed with the sound of raised voices rather than laughter. Harmony was a rare guest in this land of endless discord. One evening, as the golden hues of sunset bathed the village in a warm glow, a wandering monk named Arjun arrived. Draped in simple saffron robes and a small cloth bundle slung over his shoulder, Arjun exuded an aura of tranquility. His deep brown eyes, wise and kind, held the weight of years of contemplation. Though his feet were calloused from years of travel, his posture was upright and steady, as if the burdens of the world could not bend him. News of the monk's arrival spread quickly. The villagers, desperate for a solution to their unending strife, gathered around him in the village square. The elders approached him first, their faces lined with years of frustration. "Oh, wise one," one of them pleaded, "we are lost in anger and conflict. We argue, we bicker, and our hearts know no peace. Can you guide us?" Arjun listened with the patience of an ancient oak standing against the wind. Then, after a moment of silence, he said in a calm voice, "Tomorrow at sunrise, meet me at the edge of the forest. There, I will show you the path to peace." The next morning, as the first light of dawn painted the sky in shades of pink and orange, the villagers gathered where the forest began. Tall, towering trees stood like silent sentinels, their leaves whispering in the soft morning breeze. Mist curled around the undergrowth, and the scent of damp earth and blooming wildflowers filled the air. Birds called to one another in melodious tones, as if heralding the start of something sacred. Arjun stood before them, his presence as still as a mountain. "Follow me," he instructed, "but you must remain silent until I speak." The villagers exchanged uncertain glances, but obeyed. They walked into the depths of the forest, their usual chatter and complaints replaced by the rustling of leaves beneath their feet. At first, the silence was unsettling. Many fidgeted, accustomed to filling their days with noise. But as they walked further, the stillness of the forest began to work its quiet magic. The sun climbed higher, casting golden beams through the canopy. They passed a gurgling brook where dragonflies danced over the water. The scent of pine and jasmine lingered in the air. They walked through meadows dotted with wild orchids where butterflies flitted lazily. Time seemed to slow, and their restless minds grew calm. Finally, Arjun led them to a clearing where a river wound gracefully through the land. The water sparkled like liquid diamonds, reflecting the clear blue sky above. The villagers sat upon the smooth stones by the river's edge, the sound of flowing water soothing their weary spirits. Without speaking, they breathed in the tranquility of their surroundings. Moments turned to hours, yet no one felt impatient. The silence, once foreign, now embraced them like an old friend. Then, Arjun finally spoke. "Do you feel it?" he asked softly. The villagers nodded. Words seemed unnecessary in this moment. "Silence is not merely the absence of noise," he continued, his voice as gentle as the breeze. "It is the presence of peace. It is within silence that we hear our true selves. When we pause, we begin to understand, to reflect, and to heal. Take this silence with you. Make space for it in your lives, and you will find the peace you seek." The villagers returned to their homes transformed. They no longer argued over trivial matters. Instead, they began to embrace moments of silence. listening to the wind as they worked in the fields, sitting quietly beneath the old banyan tree in the village square, and watching the stars at night without words. In time, the village that once thrived on conflict became a place of harmony. And so, Arjun, the wandering monk, left as quietly as he had arrived, his presence forever etched in the hearts of those he had touched. He continued his journey, carrying nothing but the wisdom he had shared and the peace he had sown. The story teaches us that true peace is found not in the absence of conflict, but in the presence of silence and self-reflection. By embracing stillness and listening to the world around us, we can gain clarity, heal our hearts, and foster harmony in our relationships. Silence is not emptiness. It is a space where wisdom grows, and through it, we can transform our lives and communities.